Welcome back to the garage. It has been a while since I've been able to put out an update video on the Jeep. It's been too hot. Can't even keep it cool in here. This is not an air-conditioned space, so I have to rely on a fan blowing air in from the house to keep it cool in here, and that doesn't always work. So progress has been slow, but the next step is to get in there and assess the transmission and the transfer case, see if we can take this thing for a drive. Fortunately, my plans today might even get a little bit weird. My significant other got rear-ended, and her stuff is kind of taking up all the space. So I don't know how much I'll be able to get into easily, but we'll try to jump into it and we'll find out. I've honestly been dreading this for a while. It's basically Schrodinger's T90. It's either a complete disaster on the inside, or it's fine. And I won't know until I get in here and observe. So, it's time to get in here and see what we got. I've already kind of hosed it down a little bit with some WD-40 to get this boot off. Fortunately, I'd loosened that up a while back. Initial observations is that it has a bunch of dirt daubers under there, but that's not much of a surprise because the rest of it does. There, maybe now I can see. I suppose it's always a good sign when you try to look at what size bolt that all of these are, and it's just a mismatched potpourri of whatever. Someone's definitely been here and done a little bit of creative welding. I don't know what the heck has gone on here in the past. All I know is that it's going to be interesting. And I don't know if that's going to be in a good way or a bad way. Yep, interesting assortment here. 3 different sizes, 6 different bolts. And that's not even all it was supposed to be here. Oh yeah, what a mess. So we got nuts, dirt daubers, more nuts. Jeez.
One eternity later.
Well, after all of that, it's really not that much better. There's a lot of crud that I want to get out of there. I'm beginning to understand why so many people choose to just, from the start, take the body off this thing. That would make cleanup a lot easier. Now I'll continue to remind you guys that I am no expert whatsoever on these. But underneath all of this crud, this metal is pristine. And it looks like it's bare metal that has been preserved somehow by all of the oil and grease and whatnot that's been sitting on top of it. So that's kind of a good sign to me. But the fact that there's all this grease and gunk and stuff present, I don't know, it's almost kind of a bad sign to me. But man, this is coming up a lot cleaner than I expected. And you can even see the gasket there, and there's a number 17 stamped into the metal there. If anyone knows the significance of that, hey, drop me a comment, let me know. But let me get in here and do a little bit more cleaning before we crack into this guy. Alright, after a little bit more scraping and cleaning, I would classify the top of this as
suspiciously pristine. Perhaps confusingly pristine. It doesn't look painted. That looks like bare metal. And for those keeping track, if anyone is keeping track, the engine, at least, from this is from an M38. So it's newer than the CJ2A. But that's still just suspiciously clean. One screw is off the inspection plate, and the other was loose enough to come right off. Yep, it's a clutch. I have a feeling the rear main seal is basically just gone. And I don't particularly know what I'm looking at here. Probably not good to get all this dust in here, but the inside surface seems a bit oily. Probably not great for a clutch to be oily like that. But based on this very limited look here, if anyone has any advice for me, I welcome the advice in the comments below. Well, ain't nothing else to do but to do it. These are loose. There is no kind of torque required. Oh boy, it already smells bad. It's that burnt oil smell from the leaking transfer case so many months ago. Alright. Not much left of that gasket. Let's see what we got. Well, that's practically mint, except for what we got up here. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty damn trashed. Some kind of seal, maybe. Alright, let's let you guys in here to see what I'm seeing. First and foremost, Pumpkin Spice SAE90. We meet again. There's basically no rust on anything in here, as best I can tell. But what I'm concerned about is that part on the back there. If this thing was leaking oil, which it sure looks like it is, my bet said it's going from right there. Let me get you in there with some light. Right there on that one tooth, that is an extra little bit of metal welded onto it. Without spinning this thing though, I can't really tell what I'm looking at. I don't know if this thing's been rebuilt by an amateur. And there's just a little bit of surface rust in there. And the underside of the shifting tower here looks dirty but fine. Yeah, this thing is low on oil. Isn't it supposed to be way higher than this? Yeah, once I figure out what's up with that shield there on the back, which I don't believe is supposed to be Swiss cheese, I'll know a little bit more. Now it smells so bad that the flies are beginning to congregate. You guys who have been here before, you know exactly what that smell is. It's whew. Alright, so right here, I don't think that side of the tooth there is supposed to be so missing. Looks like someone ground the shit out of it. Thought that was rust, but it's just grunge. No? I don't know how much play there is supposed to be in here, but you know, I'll risk it here. It looks like a chunk of metal. It's just stuck here. Is that gear cracked? Is that entire chunk trying to come off? Alright. Well guys, I thought I'd be driving this soon, but I don't believe this entire surface of the gear here is supposed to be worn off all the way around. Though I'll go look it up. Everything else seems to spin, but of course the biggest thing over here is that I got little loose chunks of metal in here that I can't readily get out. Whatever this seal here on the back is just gone. I really wasn't looking forward to a rebuild, but it looks like I might have to pull the body off this guy, pull the trans and transfer case, and do a rebuild. Disheartening, but not unexpected. Well, unfortunately, that's not quite where I was wanting to be at the end of this episode. I was hopeful that I could just pop it open, say, yep, looks good, and be ready to go, but something's not right there with the fluid being that low, and with that metal at the front being all kind of torn up. I need to find out what that is and how to fix that, which probably means dropping the transmission and transfer case and doing a little quick refresh or rebuild on it. That would be the correct thing to do, and I want to do it correctly. Probably better to do it right from the start than to be 1,000 miles down the road and have to redo something because it wasn't done right from the start. So that's it for this one. I did do a couple of little things that I'll probably throw in that footage after this. A couple little side trips for the Jeep. Parts it doesn't need yet, but we'll get anyways. So that's it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Yet another side trip on this very long journey. I did go ahead and pick up some shock absorbers. The ones that are on there are kind of toast, but what do you expect? The Jeep's also got that Jeep lean going on, so at some point I will have to replace the leaf springs, but that's expected given that those are probably original. Well gang, we've taken a lot of little side trips on this journey to bringing the Jeep back, but I was fortunate enough to pick up one of the missing pieces from Jeep God 2000 on the CJ28 page. Thank you, Rodney. I was able to get a tow hitch. The one on that one's missing. Unfortunately, these bolts are just a little bit gone as far as the threads are concerned. And it's got a 2-inch ball, and I want to tow the Bantam with it, which is a 1 7/8. So picked up myself a tow ball here and a couple of new bolts. Coarse thread instead of fine, that's what they had. Hope that didn't bite me in the end. But we'll go swap this out and put this back together and get that ready to put on the Jeep. Right, we finally get to use this thing. Freshly brought back from the grave. As crusty as that is, sure came off without a fight. I am really looking forward to the full-blown restoration part of this project. Right now I'm just getting all of the pieces there. Well, I didn't really plan ahead, and I may have bought too short of a ball. Truth be told, that does need a lock washer. I may have to steal the 1 7/8 from this guy and put the shorter one on here. We kind of got a little bit janky with the spacing on this one. Suited the need, but I don't know. That right there is just about where it needs to be. This guy's been on here for a minute. Well, long story short, they're doing some work on the street. They got a backhoe and they're tunneling some conduit in there. So I didn't want to record all that noise, but we took out a bunch of shims here and got the old tow bar good to go again. Crusty guy is out of the way, and we went ahead and installed the tow bar. Let's go look at that. And just like that, of course, didn't record, too noisy, but it fits. It looks good. I even threw the spare tire carrier on here just for a quick visual, but it looks the way it should. Short project.